What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be checking out Plunder A Pirates Life, which is an area, movement, and control board game for 2 to 6 players. Now, this game can play in about 30 minutes and is great for about ages 12 and up, probably even younger. I don't see why not. The purpose of this game is to be one of the best pirates in the seas by collecting plunder points, which you can do by destroying other pirate ships, or taking over islands, or building your own crew up, or your own fleet. And of course, finding treasures that offer you plunder points. And also, if you get enough gold, you can get plunder points. The point is, there's plenty of ways to win the game, plenty of ways to build a strategy. Why don't we check out how to play the game? This is Plunder A Pirates Life, an awesome game. So this is the setup here. Instead of using 2 more of these to make the 3 and up player game, we're doing the 4 boxes. So go ahead and set up so you have A through L and 1 through 12 all around the board. This is again for 2 players. As you see, there's like these little skull things. And one thing we're missing that you're not going to have in this game is this here barrel is the merchant that you get in 3+ games. But again, this is a 2-player game. It's so much easier and fits on the screen a lot better. So these are the cards that come in the game. It's gonna be your resources. So what we have here is like iron, gold, wood, mead, good old beer. And when you set the game up, you want to separate every resource from itself, giving 10 to each resource, having them face up. You never know when you might need them. This right here is the storm. The storm is going to be placed eventually on the board, and you just want to avoid it. I'll talk about the storm a little bit more later. Everything else you're going to see here are the resource like management cards. You have the 2 spinners at the top. On the left, you're going to find the treasure cards, and then below that are the pillage cards. You want 10 pillage cards to win. Now in the box, as you can tell, already comes with the 3 printed plastic to hold everything together. It works fantastically. However, I do have some issues with the life and the cannons kind of falling into each other, but not that serious. The setup is pretty easy as well. You're going to grab a ship, grab 3 little red people, and put them in the ship, just like that. When placing this on the board, you want to place it on a single skull island. You can get the double skulls and triple skulls a little later. Now also keep in mind, in this game you'll have mass, cannon, dice, treasure items, and flags. Flags are going to be placed on every island that you own, and I'll go over that a little bit later. These are the treasure tokens. You're going to place them on the board by using the spinner. For a 2-player game, it's 2 of them. For a 3 and up player game, it's all 4 of them. And again, with the flags, you want to place them on the island that is owned by you or your opponents. So we're going to go ahead and spin these spinners to place the treasure on D1. Now, for a 2-player game, if it ever lands above 12, just roll again. So the second treasure is going to be placed on, looks like C1. So I got very lucky as the purple player. And the storm, same thing. Whatever the location is, you want to place the storm in the center of that. So each player gets 3 resource cards to get started. One guy got 2 irons and a wood. One guy got 2 woods and an iron. Weird how that works out. Roll the movement dice in order to get started. Watch out for the 1. The 1 will move the storm. And then you'll use the spinner to move the storm. So we got a 4 here. So I moved twice, and now I can do whatever. I can take as many actions as I want along with my movement. Now, when I'm stuck here, I can't go through this island. I have to go around the island. Also, too, I forgot to draw, but you draw a resource card for every island you own. So we just rolled a 3, so he's going to move 3, and, now it's my turn. So I grabbed a resource. And as you can see here, these are all the options of things you can buy with your resources, including plunder points. Oh, right, plunder points. I think I said pillage points earlier. So we got a 5. 1, 2, 3. So once you get a treasure, you read the treasure card. So it's 2 gold, plus I place the enemy ship inside the storm. Oh, bummer. That sucks for him. Did you hear that cannon? If you hit the like button right now, it'll shoot a cannon back. So with him placed in there, and I will explain how getting out of there works in just a mere second, but since we still have some movement left over, I'm also going to take this other treasure here. But to keep in mind, you are supposed to replace the treasures as soon as they are placed. So I'm going to put this down, respin that because it's a 2-player game. And it looks like he got a little lucky here. Looks like he gets to take a little treasure while he's in the storm, because as long as whatever's inside the storm, he gets to react with normally. My second treasure card. Ooh, a plunder point. That is 1 plunder point. Now let's take a little count here. I have 1, 2, now 3 plunder points. I can gain more from taking islands, by building more ships, or by killing or destroying their ships. So let's place this last little piece here. Looks like we got a 5 for our boy in the greens. He's going to go initially take this treasure card, of course, who wouldn't? Relocate the treasure. And these are valid to grab from here or here. You cannot land on the island. He also gets to roll a die, and he loses that many resource cards. Oh, bummer. He is just so much bad luck right now. Oh, it's just 1 resource, no big deal. We'll put it in the discard. Now, he wants to get out. So to do that, it takes 2 resource cards. Also, if you want to move into a storm, 2 resource cards. Any trading that you do cannot be across storms, but if you're both inside the storm, you're fine. Treasures, you have to be inside. Pillaging islands, you have to be inside or outside the storm, along with the dock. And we'll explain the dock right now. So I just moved 3, okay? Now I'm going to do multiple things here. I'm going to start by building a cannon, because I am planning on going to war to this island. I'm equipping my ship with a cannon, using the resources that it cost to buy it. Now I get +1 to my attack die. Now, I move in, that's 1. You have to go on a port in order to get into the islands. Grab my treasure. 2 gold, plus move your ship up 3 additional spaces. So on my 5, which I've already moved 3, I get another 3. So I pretty much have 5 again. Reroll for the treasure. Treasure's in favor of greens. Now we roll. So the attack die goes, and that's a 1. +1, cannon. Of course, if I get a higher attack, I win. On ties, attackers win. Ooh, +1. Looks like he beat me. Now I lose a life, because I lost. I'm going to go again, because I'm feeling risky. Roll my dice. Man, my dice rolls are not that... Oh, wow. Okay, so he's obviously a lot stronger than I anticipated. I need to get on out of here. I'm going to use the rest of my movement, which is now 5 because of this card, plus the 2 left, and get on out of here. We're going to speed up the process. Now I just rolled a 1. So not only do I get to move the storm, which hasn't moved apparently since the last time you've seen this. Reroll that because it's a 2-player game. And I get a 1. Now I do have a mass, so that's technically 2 movement. Alright, so I make my move into the port. Remember, I'm able to attack this island if I'd like because I'm in the port. And now the second player is going, because I ended my turn. Now he's next to me. Pause. Keep in mind, he has a couple options here. Since he's next to me, and this also works if you're next to an opponent's port, he can threaten me that he's going to attack and he asks for resources instead, or he can just attack. Now also on the receiving end, the defending end, I could bribe him to leave me alone. However, looks like he's just going to go straight into trading. Alright, yeah, no problem. I could do gold with wood. But let's reverse this. Instead, he's going to attack me. Now he has 2 cannons. I only have 1. Wow. What a strong opponent. Now this will continue until somebody reaches 10 plunder points. Again, every plunder point for treasures, every plunder point for amount of ships in game, plus any additional points you get from destroying ships or trading gold in for plunder points. Now let's just appreciate the presentation of this box really quick with the insert. Wow, how everything fits so nicely with all the characters separated by color, all the cards placed neatly. These resource helper cards go on top of everything in order to make space for the boards in the rulebook. One of my favorite boxes I've ever had the luxury of opening and setting up. Overall, I've completely enjoyed this game. I think the pacing is fantastic. I think during each round, some games, when you're waiting for your turn, you're kind of just like doing something else, not necessarily paying attention. But with this game, every move matters. If someone is heading towards your fleet with their fleet and they happen to have more cannons than you and more masts than you, you're obviously underpowered. You want to catch those things beforehand. You want to escape. You want to build up your own crew of pirates, right? You want to be defensive and offensive. And then, of course, while you're playing, like let's say you're going to take the island control route versus, taking over other people's ships. You want to make sure that everyone else is kind of farther away from you, or if you want to grab treasures and so forth. It's always an active game, which I think makes the game very interactive. And while we're talking about customization, come on, those ships look great. I don't know what it is about those 3D, that's probably what it is. The fact that they're these beautifully printed ships and you can customize it with cannons and masts, and you can always add more life to it. And of course the dice look fantastic too. I love how creative this game feels. Now, I do feel that the strategy in this game is a little lack of. Sure, decisions are there, but it's not a very deep game, which comes with the fact that this is a very gateway style area movement game. You can really introduce this to anyone. It's not going to be too deep, but that's really great when you're trying to get to a table in a more less board gamey environment, or just want to get some people who've never played games before to play games with you. Another thing I don't like, and this is just solely in the 2-player game, which I think lacks a little bit more than 3 to 6 is fantastic. 2 players, the only issue I have with it is there's no market. Now the market makes it easy when you're collecting all these resources to just head over to the market and trade some in. You don't necessarily get that with 2 players because it's harder to trade with another player when their entirety of their experience is to destroy you. They don't want to help you. One quick bit of strategy I would give you while playing this game is to have a nice rough outline of what you want to do. What do you want to accomplish before the game starts? Do you want to take the island route? Do you want to take over ships? You want to be careful with these resources because you might not necessarily be getting the resources you need when the time comes. If you're looking for beer and you just keep getting wood and iron, well, plan around that. Don't waste the beer that you do get when those scarce resources come. And last but not least, I think this is a very positive game I've experienced. It is definitely a nice way to set sail at sea in a gateway type of way to bring everyone on board to enjoy an area control board game. Not only is this a fantastic game for gateway players, but the presentation is fantastic. As you saw during the how-to, the box has a 3D assortment on the inside to really make sure everything's in place. While it's not perfect, it's beautiful. This is one of the nicest looking games I've ever looked at. I saw dust. If this game interests you, go ahead and check out the link in the description. It'll bring you to my website where you can find many more links, including their Board Game Geek account, where to find this game, and so forth. And if you enjoyed watching this video, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you'd like to see more on this channel. Or, even better, what do you think of this game? Have you played any other games at sea? And what are your favorite types of pirate games?